Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you had a nice week. Summer may finally be settling in. Today is June 23rd, 2023, and this is your Friday planning video. Today I want to start with some tales from the front lines as I bring you some of the things that I'm seeing day in and day out. Important to note again, I do not offer tax or legal advice. Please allow me to work with your tax and legal advisors so that we can make sure your investment plan matches the tax and estate planning you're doing. With the not-so-recent distribution of new titles across the pond in the UK, you know, King Charles III, the Queen, new Prince and Princess of Wales, Duke of Edinburgh, you get the picture. With that, I want to talk about titles. This item was on my list for last week. No, not your title. You can use any title you want, I guess. But in the overall world of estate planning, the titles you choose for your accounts, they do matter. Last week I mentioned the asset allocation. We'll visit that again soon. And we'll spend a good deal of time on asset location. Both of these we'll discuss more over the weeks ahead. Let's focus more on the title or ownership of your accounts. Just to name a few, there are single, joint tenants, tenants in common, trust, custodial, transfer on death. Remember, this does not include your retirement plans, hard assets like real estate or life insurance. Two quick misconceptions, then a few final points and some action items. First, you may think that if you have a will and an estate plan with simple or extensive trust documents, that the titles on your assets do not matter so much. This is not the case. Please check with your estate attorney. Also check out this month's blog on the website. The title is Trusts Don't Grow on Trees. It is altogether possible that all the work that you did to drop the trusts and will be for nothing if you don't follow through on the proper titling. Second, titles are not forever, or at least they don't have to be. According to most, Harry and Meghan cannot be stripped of their royal titles, but aside from the royal family, there are changes all the time. Marriages, divorces, births, and deaths, and these are just some of the simple ones. Titles on your accounts can be changed in most cases. If the title is representative of an irrevocable gift, custodial accounts, certain trusts, this is a different question, and not only is it beyond the scope of this video, also it's something you should discuss with your attorney. Overall, in my checklist last week, I gave you a lot to look at. The titles on the accounts are important. Please remember, although I may bring this up to you in our meetings, I will also refer you to get your estate plan in order and in line with the titles, no matter how young or old you are. A few other items. First, student loans. We could hear from the Supreme Court within days or weeks. According to many, the court will rule on two main items. First, does the case that was brought have standing? In other words, can they even rule on it? And otherwise, is the plan even legal? Biden is using the HEROES Act that followed the 9/11 attacks. We'll have to see how that's interpreted. Regardless, this is one of the possible overhangs to the markets and this economy. Will the payments resume September 1st or not? That is the next question. If the program proceeds, the Department of Education already has 26 million applications. They'll get moving on those and probably reopen applications for the remaining of the total of 40 million estimated people who have student loans. Okay, on to more concrete ideas. 2 weeks ago, I spoke about dollar cost averaging, an important idea. Maybe it's for you. Last week, I touched on the other side of that, systematic withdrawal, if you're at that point. Today, I want to talk about the middle group, saving for retirement. So this is not the I'm just getting started crew, nor is it the time to turn the tide and start taking the money out to live off of crew. This is the, oh my goodness, my retirement goal, the date, it's coming like a freight train, and I don't have enough money, or I don't think I have enough money to retire. What can I do? Is there anything I can do? How do I get caught up or even ahead? As you can imagine, there's no magic wand for this, and there's no special pixie dust for me to sprinkle on your assets, but there are some things to do, so here are a few of them. Regardless of if these fit, please let's talk about these. Getting back on track is what I do. As I said, we can't perform magic, but getting a plan together, getting it implemented, monitoring and managing it, and changing it when it's necessary, all of this can be done. Here are a few of those action items. First, if you're not self-employed, are you taking full advantage of all that your employer has to offer? Are you getting the full match in the retirement account? Are there other benefits you can do? Next, how about the simple one? Okay, remember, you've heard me say this before. Simple doesn't mean easy. Simple idea, increase your savings. No, I'm not talking about the big move. How about 1% a month? Start there, and you'll be surprised by the fact that you may not even notice that it's gone, and you'll also be surprised that after some time, you'll have way more than you thought. What else? Roth conversion. This is one that is almost on almost every list I give you. If you convert now, pay the taxes now, in retirement, this money should come out tax-free. That's more in your pocket to spend. And that's the point. No? Well, spend it. Invest it in your kids and more likely your grandchildren. Regardless, major planning, especially on the tax side, is required here, but let's talk it over with your tax advisor and we'll go from there. A bit of a stretch, but when you're going to retire, have you ever thought of choosing a location based on the cost of living, including taxes? This is a big deal, and simple as I say it, but we all know in most cases, not all, your future self will be in a place depending on where your family is. A few more. Catch up. Now, this is what I've been talking about, right? I mean the real catch up, as in catch up contributions. Remember that when you hit age 50, and I know that some of you are just hitting that, your limits on what you can put away in your plans rise. So if you can put away more money, now the plan allows it for you to take advantage of it. A few more things, yes, from the list last week. I will talk about pensions next week, the disappearing retirement plan, it seems, and I'll talk about them more then. But if your job is like most these days and does not offer a pension for a permanent income stream, there are other ways to address this. And through using some types of insurance products, there may be a plan that is right for you. And finally, healthcare expenses in later life. Before you freak out, there are ways to address this too, and we'll talk about that also, and some possible ways to address them. For now, I want to remind you how important these topics are. The title and beneficiary of your account may not impact you, but for a moment, if you for a moment want to concern yourself with your heirs, this is so important. There's way too much that can go wrong if your plan is not carried out the way you intended, especially after you're gone. To end on a good note, this can be addressed quickly and painlessly in most cases. Let's engage in these conversations and get them checked off. Focusing on your retirement, the second act, is so much more fun. Please come back Monday to get a Monday market update and visit the website for the video and the blogs. Have a great weekend.